Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
How are you, Jenny?
Good.
Nice dress.
How are you, Shannon?
I'm talking to Jenny.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
You feel it?
I'm ready to go because we're about to talk about the Cowboys, and then we get to talk about LeBron James. And I would submit to you that LeBron missed those 2 free throws late in that game the other night because he was thinking about the Cowboys, his favorite team. They were playing at the same time. He was distracted by the Cowboys.
Y'all you win one game, and now you out
crazy.
Here turning cartwheels and driving that bus again, huh?
Me and LeBron.
No, ain't no you and LeBron. LeBron got other things to worry about.
He does not. He loves the Dallas Cowboys.
No, he does
always
not.
Have. Hey, you're missing that
He
boat.
likes the Cowboys. I get it. But he wasn't thinking about him Sunday
Yes,
night.
he was.
No.
He was getting updates on the big win at Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to talk
Short-lived.
about your guy, LeBron, Shannon, because is he maybe starting to feel the pressure playing in L.A.? And then what about Skip's guy, Kevin Durant? He says he's the best player in basketball right now, but why is he fighting with his teammates?
Good question.
But as Skip set us up, let's start with the Cowboys. They're sitting at 4-5 after a big win Sunday night against the Eagles, but it's not going to get any easier for Dallas. They'll be an underdog on Sunday in Atlanta. After that, they have 3 straight home games against the division-leading Redskins, the 8-1 Saints, and another matchup against the Eagles. So, Skip,
yes, ma'am.
Yesterday you said that the Cowboys will win the NFC
I said that.
East.
Yes, I did.
You did say that. Why did you say that?
Look, Jenny, Mr. Sharp, I am not completely sold on these Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I am far from it. I am the first to admit I still have not recovered from that rotten egg that they laid on Monday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans. I still don't completely trust them. But I still believe they will win the NFC East by default. If you want to tell me they will back into the NFC East and win the division title and make the playoffs by winning said title, you can tell me they're going to back in. But I think they're going to win it by default. So, first of all, I believe the Cowboys will lose Sunday at Atlanta. Atlanta opened as a 4.5-point favorite. It got bet down to 3.5. Why is that, Mr. Sharp? Because the Cowboy Nation bandwagon is rolling and people are jumping back on that bandwagon. I might be, but I just told you I don't completely trust it. And I say they're going to lose at Atlanta with their House of Horrors last year where Dak Prescott got sacked 8 times, 6 by Adrian Claiborne. And I don't think it'll be that bad this time. I just think they're going to lose that game. I also think the Dallas Cowboys will lose 2 weeks from Thursday night at home to the New Orleans Saints. And I think you would agree with that. But I also believe that the Cowboys will avenge their robbery at Washington by beating the Redskins. It was a robbery. That penalty called on the false start on the flinch by he did not move the football. So they're going to avenge that game on Thanksgiving Day at Jerry World. And I believe they will beat the reeling Philadelphia Eagles for a second time on December 9th at Jerry World. So what you are missing the point on and the boat on is that I got 3 aces in the hole. The closing schedule of the Dallas Cowboys, the last 3 games, I think are highly winnable. And if they need to win those games to make the playoffs, I think they're going to win at Indy, Tampa Bay at home, at Giants. Did the Giants won last night at San Francisco? Are they dangerous? Could they be the spoiler in this division? No, they will not be.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so I say Cowboys close with those 3 wins to get to 9-7. I think that's going to be the magic record in the NFC East because I believe the Redskins are going to lose this Sunday at home to a Texans team that has won 6 straight games. This is a swing game in the NFC East. It's a huge game for me and my Cowboys and maybe for the Eagles because I got to have Deshaun Jackson go to Washington and win a game in a stadium in which Josh Norman said the other day at Tampa, nobody roots for them at home. They get more support on the road. They got more support from their fans at Tampa than they get at home. I don't get that. Maybe that'll inspire them to root a little harder, but it seems like there's some dissension in the ranks and in the stands at Washington. So I say I got Texans winning that game. I got Washington losing at Cowboys, at Titans. That'd be no surprise. And then to the Eagles at home to close it out. That would make the Redskins 8-8. 9-7, better than 8-8. Yes, Which brings me to the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs, have the toughest closing schedule in all of football. And I say they're going to lose at the Saints this Sunday. That would be no shock, would it? The Saints are 7.5-point favorites in that game. Eagles lose at Dallas and at Rams. That would be no shock. And that would bring the Eagles to a closing record of 8-8. Dallas 9-7, Washington 8-8, Eagles 8. Dallas backs in. Guess what? You would lose your, how many cases? I don't know how many cases we got bet on that, but I think Dallas is going to win by default.
Whatever we got bad, I want to add
What is it? 3.
Yeah.
3. I'll stand by 3.
Okay.
Well, I'm sitting here at 4 and 5. Look, you want to talk about going on the end of the
You
limb?
earned that record.
Yeah.
You
I
earned it.
did. We are what our record says we are. We're 4 and 5,
Yeah.
and I don't completely trust.
Okay.
But I trust Dallas more than I trust Philly or Washington right now, especially looking at those schedules that I just detailed for you. And I think I just closed the case. Backed in.
I'm trying to figure, this is what I have a hard time understanding. And because you said, this is what you said. You're not sold on the Cowboys, but you're picking them to win the division anyway.
I just detailed it for you because the schedules are hard, man. But I think my schedule, I got those 3 aces in the hole at the end. And I think you're going to be sitting over there just sweating through your suit coat thinking, they're going to win. Again, Indy's won 3 in a row, but against really not much competition. But Andrew Luck's bouncing back. He could be the comeback player of the year. Will it be a dicey game? Will it be a 50-50? I just think they can win that. I think they can beat Tampa and they can beat the Giants at the Giants.
I'm going to get to my other point later. Will the Cowboys still win the NFC? Absolutely not, Jenny. That's not going to happen. I got them over the next 4 games going 1-3.
Okay.
Which will end this foolishness.
Okay.
This foolery.
It could be.
Yeah. This debauchery that you got going on now all of a sudden.
Debauchery. I've got lots of debauchery.
Yeah, you do.
I got some debauchery, man.
Yeah, all that. You done threw the jersey in the trash. You done threw the hat in the trash. You were done with that.
I pulled it out.
Now
I dusted it off.
That is
Skip,
true.
here's the thing. What I have a hard time understanding is that how can you have so much confidence in a team that have yet to score 20 points back-to-back games?
Good question.
Okay, well,
and you still got confidence in the Eagles, or are you on the Redskins bandwagon?
No. We're not talking
I like Alex Smith. I fear Alex Smith. Check down Alex. I fear him.
I just asked you a simple question.
Yeah.
Feel free to respond. How and why do you have so much confidence in the Cowboys when they have yet to score 20 in back-to-back games?
Can I go?
Yeah, just say
Thank you. So, on Sunday night at Philadelphia, I saw flashes in every area of football that showed me just how good this Dallas team can be. I saw Jason Garrett, Coach Clapp, go for it on 4th and 2 from his 31 with a fake punt, and I love that because it worked and it inspired the football team. I saw Scott Linehan, whose job I've been calling for, call a series of clever, inspired plays, especially in the red zone, that shocked me because he pulled his head out and looked like 2014 Scott Linehan.
Yeah.
And I saw a Dak Prescott look awful in some series, look shell-shocked, look gun-shy, look double-pumping hesitant. And I saw him turn around in 3 long drives, 2 in the 4th quarter, and be the playmaking driving force of my offense. I saw the best of Dak.
You're making my point for me. It's the inconsistency.
Okay.
What did you see on Monday night?
I saw Amari Cooper finally give them a legitimate, bona fide wide receiver threat who can separate and force double coverage and suddenly free up Cole Beasley and Michael Gallup and Allen Hurns for wide open catches because he's a stud. He was the 4th pick in the draft and he's a 2-time Pro Bowler and they haven't had it all year. He's changing the way they play football. And I saw an offensive line on Sunday night by hook or crook. And again, I don't wish injury on anybody, so I'm knocking on wood, but Connor Williams has been a liability as a rookie left guard, and he couldn't play on Sunday night. And all of a sudden, what did I tell you about Hudson Houck, the best offensive line coach I've ever been around, came out of retirement in the bye week to try to fix the offensive line. And it suddenly got fixed on Sunday night because I didn't see open holes for Ezekiel Elliott. I saw 6-lane highways get opened in the Philly defense. Am I right about that?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Skip. On Monday night, you said this offensive line was overrated. Now,
no, I didn't say it on Monday night.
Yes, you
I
did.
said before Monday night.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, after Monday night.
But now,
on the previous Monday night, I thought it was horrible.
Oh, so
okay, but again, what did I say? They got to get Connor Williams out there, and all of a sudden, sorry, God, but he got hurt. He got hurt. I hope he's okay, but I don't want him back in the lineup.
Okay,
What did you see? Did you see gaping holes for Ezekiel Elliott?
But what I also saw is that when Zeke runs the football for 120 to 150, the offense looks good.
Thank you.
But what about the consistency? What happens when they turn that running water, which is Zeke Elliott, off? Have you seen this year your guy deliver?
I haven't seen him under fire without Amari Cooper until Sunday night at Philadelphia.
What was Tennessee?
Okay.
Did he have Amari Cooper?
Well, what about Tennessee? I'm glad you brought that up. Do you realize that was the first game with Amari Cooper? Do you realize the first 3 times Dallas had the football against Tennessee on Monday Night Football stage, they went zoom, zoom, zoom into the red zone and had 3 great chances to cash in a 21-0 lead?
Yeah.
And what happened? The field goal kicker misses a chip shot on the first one.
Yes, he did.
And again, they had 1st and 10 at the 23, and they got it to 2nd and 4 at the 17.
Why do you need the field goal kicker?
Well,
again, your quarterback.
Okay, well, he throws a fade to Amari that I thought was just a bad throw. Amari for a touchdown, and they cashed. And the third time, I'd say it one more time, Dak Prescott made the single worst decision of his NFL career because they had 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Okay.
And he throws it to Kevin Byard, who goes and celebrates on the star, and that was the end of that game. But my point is, if you cash those in, if you score 3 touchdowns, this is Tennessee we're talking about.
Okay,
what did Tennessee show you Sunday against New England?
We're not talking
Are they
about
pretty good?
We're not talking about
No,
New
we're
England.
talking about Tennessee.
We're talking about the Cowboys.
I'm talking about Tennessee.
The Cowboys.
Maybe Tennessee's way better than people think. Is that possible?
No.
Like way better.
No,
like maybe contending in the AFC.
You see what he did, Jenny? What he tries to do is he tries to accentuate Tennessee because they put foots in New England. And they put foots in his Cowboys. So now let me accentuate how good Tennessee is.
Is it possible they're really good?
No.
Okay, you tell me.
No,
you tell me.
I'm talking to you about the Cowboys.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Tennessee.
All right, and what did we see from the Cowboys?
It's not your turn.
Whoa, you asked me a question.
No,
I
that was
haven't
like 5
finished
minutes
yet.
ago.
I know, but I asked you, I said, are you sure you want me to go?
I wanted you to answer
What
that
did you
question.
see from my Cowboy defense on Sunday night at Philadelphia? You saw speed and you saw hitting. You saw hit and run. You saw Jalen Smith can fly and terrorize. You saw Leighton Vander Esch is long and rangy and fast.
I also saw Carson Wentz throw for 360 and only missed like 10 completions.
But there was some garbage yards in that last drive.
So now they
got him over 300, but that's fine.
Over 360, he was at 360.
Yeah.
So he had 300 before.
Well, he got, what did he get, like 80 in the last drive? Seriously, well, it went down to the goal line. I'm like on the floor rolling over. They're lateraling it to Golden Tate at the goal line.
Your guy, Tom Brady, does that all the time.
Okay, well, whatever. Okay, we're not talking about Tom Brady.
Now we're not talking about
that's what you said.
Now we're not talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah, okay.
Here's the thing. It's as simple as this. I don't believe they'll beat Atlanta. I believe they'll beat Washington at home.
Thank you.
I believe they lose to New Orleans, and I also believe they lose to Philly.
Okay, you better.
But
that's your swing game then.
Well, help me.
I got Dallas over Philly.
Help me understand this. They lose a game, and the sky's falling. They win one game, and now they're Super Bowl bound. I've never seen a team that...
Did I say Super Bowl bound?
Yeah.
I said back into the playoffs. Is that Super Bowl bound?
Yeah.
Although, once you get in this tournament, anything can happen. Am I right?
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
That's so quick.
Well, you've seen it happen.
No, I haven't
You
seen
saw Aaron Rodgers make a miracle run. When was it, like back in the 1800s? I forget what
First
it
of all,
was.
is that what we're doing?
Remember, Aaron Rodgers was a road wildcard team, and was that not a miracle run?
Is that what we're doing?
I don't know.
Is that what we're doing?
It could happen.
Are we comparing Dak Prescott to Aaron Rodgers?
Well, they were kind of the same, similar age range, like third year.
Yeah, why do you do?
You just don't know. I mean,
the Cowboys will not make the playoffs, and I'm sorry to disappoint you and all these delusional Cowboy fans, because this is what happens. You win one game, and now all of a sudden, man, I told you we were back. The Cowboys never left. The Cowboys are who we thought they were, which is an underachieving football team that's not going to make the playoffs, and then you're going to be very disappointed when you lose on Sunday.
Even more underachieving have been the Super Bowl champions of Dougie P., who wrote the book Fearless off last year, and he should write a sequel called Fearful, because he should be very fearful of what's about to happen.
What's about to happen?
Wait a second. They got to play the Saints, and then they got to go to the Rams. Boy, this is a hard schedule. This is the toughest closing schedule in all of football. So? Do you still like your Eagles to win the NFC?
I like them more than I like the Cowboys.
Do you really?
Yes, I sure do.
Well, so are you still picking them to win the East?
I sure am.
Okay. Would you like to increase bets on that?
Oh, I'm like you. I'm gonna leave it as it is. We got a bet, so we're good.
We could do extra cases of do because you were just betting against the Cowboys making the playoffs, but we could make a corollary bet to that. A companion bet would be the Eagles don't win the East.
The Cowboys, okay, we're going to make the Cowboys don't win the East. Okay, 3-3.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to have the Eagles win the East from 4-5.
Yeah, you got to have the Cowboys.
You realize check down Alex is 2 games ahead of both of them right now.
No. It's not going to be no situation if the Eagles don't win. If the Eagles don't win the East, I lose, and the Cowboys don't.
I thought that was the bet we just made.
No. I said we can make that bet if you pick the Cowboys.
I'm going out on the limb picking the Cowboys to win the East.
And if they don't,
at 4-5, but right now sitting also at 4-5 are the defending champs with Carson Wince at quarterback.
Yeah.
And the point is, would you have the courage to put 3 more cases on the Eagles winning the East now?
Only if you put. So we got to bet the Eagles. I got the Eagles for 3 cases. You got the Cowboys for 3 cases.
Yes, I like that.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair is fair.
Yeah.
Like guts are guts, right?
Even swap ain't no scandal.
Okay.
I saw you coming.
So
I was hoping all along.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
you backed me right into that trap. I think the trap just opened on your side of the table, and you fell right into it.
At the end of the season, Jen, I'll be down to 7 cases.
So do you? I'm going to read you this closing schedule again. Toughest schedule in football. You have to go to the Saints. You do get the Giants and the Redskins at home, but then you have to go to Dallas, go to the Rams. You got Deshaun and the Texans, and then you go to the Redskins. Yep. Hardest schedule in football. You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love walking
strong.
Yep.
I think you just walked it right into the trap.
All I need to see is you guys score more than 20 in back-to-back games.
Hey,
let's see that happen.
When you have the best defense in football, you just don't need.
You've had it.
Yeah.
What about your offense? Because, you guys got turnovers, but the defense doesn't turn those into points. You don't get pick sixes. You don't get scooping scores. I'm talking about your offense. You had to put 20 points in back-to-back games.
Okay.
You're still the bottom feeders as far as point scores get, Bayless.
Okay. I agree. Okay. But things are just starting to turn around now with Amari Cooper. Things are starting to turn around the offensive line. You're going to be sweating Monday after Monday.
That's not Antonio Brown. That's not Julio Jones. That's not Odell Beckham Jr. So let's not get carried away with who Amari Cooper is.
I hope it's not Odell Beckham Jr. because that would be a disaster.
You wish on his best day, Amari Cooper.
I do not wish.
He couldn't carry OBJ custom shoes. You know that. I know that.
Amari Cooper is a team player and a leader and a quiet force.
John Gruden would say otherwise.
Well, I don't know.
You do know. The 4th pick of the draft got traded in his 4th year. What you talking about? You don't know. What don't you know?
He just made 2 Pro Bowls. That's all I know. And I've already seen him rise and shine with this change of scenery.
Hold on. Now, your famous line is, what have you done for me lately?
That's your famous line.
That's ancient history.
Your line is update resume.
Yeah, that was ancient history.
Okay.
We don't do ancient history up here. Okay. This is not the History Channel. So we do current events.
Okay, what did my eye test tell me about the Tennessee and the at Philly games for Amari Cooper? Difference maker. Everything started to open up and look different because of Amari Cooper's presence on the football field. I think Zeke got loose because of Amari Cooper's presence. Yes, I do. He draws double coverage attention. He's a force because he can fly. It's effortless speed. He's got it once he gets locked in. He's got good hands. He's had some lapses of focus at Oakland because I think he fell out of love with Oakland over the last few years.
But now that he's in Dallas, he's refocused. No more lapses.
Yep. You getting scared?
No.
You sound scared to me. I've never heard you like this, but it's okay.
This is the Cowboys, an offense led by Dink and Dak. We're scared of what?
And you're not scared of a Washington Redskin team that has a 2-game lead in this division.
They got a 2-game lead.
I'm concerned.
They got a 2-game lead over you guys too.
I said I'm concerned.
Well, good. You should be.
And I'm here to tell you this is a huge game for me, and my pick is the Texans at the Redskins this Sunday. It is huge, and the Texans are 3-point favorites in that game. They've won 6 straight games. They're as hot as any team in football, and I need them to go and shut down the Redskins.
Whoa, Skip. If you handle your business, you shouldn't worry about someone else taking care of your business.
When you're 4-5, you need a whole bunch of help.
How did you get there?
Because they were awful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, ain't nothing.
They also had some nice games, too. Some big games.
Nothing changed?
They scored 40 points against Jacksonville when Jacksonville was the number one ranked defense.
Stop it, Skip.
Came in the number one ranked
But they
defense.
didn't. Hold on. Didn't they give up 40 points the previous week to Kansas City?
Well,
And how many?
number one?
How many? If you don't mind me asking, how many games have Jacksonville won since then?
I can't remember.
Oh, so
Maybe you can
now
remember.
all of a sudden you want to put stock.
I'll put stock in 40 for my offense against them with no Amari Cooper.
Okay,
that
okay,
works.
how about this? You scored 40 points. If you don't mind telling the people at home, what do you think will you rank scoring offense? Even with that 40 points outburst.
It's terrible. Where's Philly ranked? Where's Washington ranked? Tell me, what is your...
No. We're not talking about Washington. We're talking about Philly.
Well,
They're
we
ranked
are
first.
talking about Philly and Washington. They're in the same division.
No.
They're just as bad as Dallas.
No.
They are.
Hold on. Well, how is Washington just as bad when they're 2 games in front of you?
Well, okay, I'm just saying, you asked me about offense. They're just as bad.
No, yours is worse.
Who's got the best defense in the NFC East right now?
You guys might have one of the
Thank
best
you.
defenses in the
Thank you.
NFL.
Case closed. That's all I need to know.
But with that defense was so good, how did you give up 28 points to Marcus Mariota?
I don't know.
Oh,
You know what? I will
clearly.
never figure that
Oh, so maybe you're not as good as you thought you were.
Or maybe Tennessee's really good.
Really?
Yeah, they're really rolling.
You know what, Jenny? Skip Bayless like to tell me he has little to no respect for Marcus Mariota. He says he believed that Jameis should have been, and he stands by that pick. So now, how much
Then
faith do
he
you have?
went 11 for 14 against the number one scoring defense in football at Jerry World on Monday Night Football. And then
Hold on.
Marcus Mariota torched Bill Belichick.
Whoa.
He did.
Yeah.
I got to repeat that. Marcus Mariota torched Belichick.
But you told me the Patriots defense isn't very good. You're telling me now the Cowboys have the number one defense. So I'm trying to figure, how does a guy that you have little to no respect for do that to the number one defense in football?
I guess I underestimated him and his head coach and his new offensive coordinator and that defense, because that's a really good defense. Right?
The guy that you have little to no respect for did that to Jerry.
Do you have respect for him?
Yeah, the utmost.
Yes, you
Anytime he does what he
You have
did. Yes.
none.
I love Marcus.
Yeah, I thought so.
Love Hawaii.
I love the
beautiful
bet.
island.
I love the bet we just made.
All right.
Yeah.
Not as much as I do.
I think you just fell head over heels into that trap.
I got you, Skip.
That's a bad one.
For
Thank
who?
you.
For who?
Thank you. As if I need more.
But
I'm
here's
only
the-
up
He doesn't
13.
need more. As if
1
Shannon,
and 3.
let him just be happy about the Cowboys defense for the week.
Just for a week.
Let him just enjoy
Then
it.
we're going to lose at Atlanta, and then it'll all start up
Ryan.
again.
There is
Let's
no
get a bet.
room
Matt
for
Ryan
error.
throws for 350.
Okay, you can have it. I told you I already said it. You don't listen. I predicted they're going to lose at Atlanta.
I love it, but you see what you try to do, Jen?
I'm not trying to do anything.
He did that last week. And then he get all on social media. He posted,
I always post.
Hey,
I just don't read.
I'm pleasantly and happily surprised that they
See,
won.
everybody, you.
I don't know about that.
How do you follow me?
Don't worry about what I do in the privacy of my own home.
I'm just glad you didn't throw out the trash. You